Hey guys, welcome to Zeus Physiques. Got a few stories to cover today for you. If you like the content, then please hit the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algo, so much appreciated for that. Firstly, Shawn Ray issued a hastily put together apologies of sort about his recent comments on Shawn Rhoden. Let's roll that video.
Hey guys, I want to jump on here real quick before I hit my morning workout. Over the weekend, I had an interview with RX Muscle Dave Palumbo talking about the passing of the legend Shawn Rhoden, and it seems like in that conversation might have been a little bit tone deaf about what we were talking about. I jumped on there a little frustrated, a little upset about the fact that we're just having so many bodybuilders this year pass away, and in listening to the interview, it sounded a little tone deaf in terms of sensitivity. Too many athletes are passing away. I'm pissed off. I'm upset. Shawn was not an enemy of mine. We came up together. I watched him when he won his pro card at the North America Championships, helped him secure his first sponsorship in bodybuilding. I was one of the guys that at prejudging, when he won the Mr. Olympia, had him beating Phil Heath, while the entire nation of the Phil Heath fans were coming for me because I had Shawn Rhoden winning that contest after the prejudging. And fortunately, Shawn did win, rightfully so. And in his passing and talking with Dave about him being 5'9", 290 pounds, and about the drugs in bodybuilding, I misspoke. I mean, listen, Shawn never ever intimated to me that he had any type of recreational drug issue or drug habit. We were not talking about recreational drugs whatsoever. My whole reason for going on there was to emphasize to every bodybuilder out there to get their blood work, to run, don't walk to the doctors, to make sure you take care of your health first. And I don't believe for 2 seconds at the moment that we lost Shawn Rhoden that he was in a healthy state at 290 and 46 years old. And so I might have glossed over the fact that we lost a great champion, the 14th Mr. Olympia. He's going to go down in the annals of bodybuilding history as one of 16 guys to win a title that thousands of bodybuilders and hundreds of Hall of Famers have tried to get. No disrespect to Shawn Rhoden. At no time was I on there to talk about disrespect. I think Dave and I were both trying to convey the importance of every bodybuilder out there. If you feel something, if you think something, go to the doctor. Don't leave it up to the federation to handle the business of telling you what to do with your health. We are all responsible for our actions. We are all responsible for our own health. People are not always going to like to hear what I have to say, but everybody with an opinion on social media has popped up and expressed their either condolences or their ignorance about what a bodybuilder should or shouldn't do when they pass. I work in the media. My job is to get out in front of the story, just as it is Dave's job to get out in front of the story, not to wait for other people to break the story. We've made a living talking about bodybuilders, bodybuilding, births, deaths, all kinds of things related to bodybuilding. So it's natural that Dave and I would be out in front of the story early and talking about it. Was it too soon? Yeah, it might have been too soon to be speculating, but that's all we can do as analysts and media people. I've seen hundreds of YouTube videos of people that weren't there talking about the possibilities of how Shawn Rhoden passed. Nonetheless, we are left with a big void. It's tragic, it's sad, it's never the right time to pass away. And when we lose a champion like that, we all hurt. And I sympathize with everybody's feelings. I was hurting. I knew Shawn. We weren't close, but in this bodybuilding fraternity, we all kind of wonder, could that be me? What would happen if I'm next? And so when these cautionary tales of bodybuilders who don't heed the warnings pass away, it hurts. And we don't want to predict someone's death, and I don't wish death upon anybody, but Shawn's legacy is not tarnished by the fact that people are guessing as to how he passed or why he passed. The fact of the matter is he's gone, and we're all are feeling the pain. The feelings are raw, the emotions are raw, and it's always too soon to talk about the passing of somebody, whether it's a bodybuilder or it's a friend or a family member. And Dave and I got caught up in a two-way conversation that might have been a little bit tone deaf on both of our sides. And I apologize for anyone that's out there feeling some kind of way because I might have misspoke or said something that was taken out of context. Let me be clear. Shawn Rhoden never intimated to me that he had a drug issue, recreational or otherwise. And for us to analyze and Monday morning quarterback from our armchair sometimes can come across in the wrong way. So the timing might not have been the best, and the words might not have been the best. But at the end of the day, I was coming from a place of a cautionary tale. Once again, another guy that I knew on the heels of George Peterson, Andy Hammond, there's just so many bodybuilders that we lost, including females, Melissa Coates, and Joanna Thomas. I'm sick of talking about bodybuilders passing away before they should, and I feel the pain of everybody else. So I'm apologizing if I offended any of you guys by some of the words that might have been taken out of context, and also maybe even the timing. But all the guys out there coming out with videos with their opinions, it sounds, if you don't like me, you don't like me. You know, I don't expect to try to win anybody back. But the Shawn Rhoden's family, I apologize for any kind of insensitivity that this conversation has made you feel a certain kind of way. Shawn was not my enemy. We were not close friends, but he definitely wasn't my enemy. I championed his fight for becoming Mr. Olympia, and I respected his title. I don't have anything to do with the Federation's decision to not allow him to compete. So I hope everyone can just take a pause, take a breath, and just, pray that we don't have any more of these episodes or any of these incidences. My entire intent is to try to warn the bodybuilders out there to pay attention to your weight, to pay attention to your health, pay attention to getting your heart checked, and that's what Dave and I both were trying to get across. And if you missed that message, it's unfortunate, because that's really what it was all about. And respect to the Rhoden family. That's it.
Although Ray does clearly apologise in the video, I think a lot of people are saying it's too little, too late. And it really does seem that this attempt at damage control for Ray is probably not going to redeem his now deeply tainted reputation. Anyway, on to the Romania Muscle Fest that happened over the weekend. Here's the top 5. In first place, Rafael Brandao with a check for $10,000. Rafael looked great. He was fuller than last week's Prague Pro, still as conditioned, with this trademark lines, shape, symmetry. I think he's just now beginning to fulfill his potential that we all knew he possessed. And as the winner was announced, Brando was unable to contain his emotions, showing us all what this win meant for him. Coming in second, close second, Samson Dowda with a check for $4,000. Coming off the win from the Prague Pro last week, Dowda was definitely one of the favourites to win. He came in looking as sharp and full as in Prague, but was simply edged out to a second place by an improved Brando. Still, very good showing for Samson Dowda. He's heading in the right direction for sure. In third place, making his IFBB Pro debut, the Iranian bodybuilding phenomenon, Behruz Tabani Abagani, with a check for $3,000. As with his fellow countryman, Hadi Chupin, Behruz came in sharp as a tack, without losing any fullness. Must be something in the water over there. The scorecard shows 9 points, so only 3 points behind Samson. He's definitely someone to look out for in the future. And, I mean, he looked absolutely fantastic here. Just super sharp, super detailed. Very, very impressed with Abagani. Fourth place, picking up $2,000. The young German Emir Omaragic. I predicted that he would be one of the dark horses to look out for in this competition, and sure enough he delivered with a convincing fourth place. Now he's only 22 years old, still very young, so I expect some great things to come for Omaragic. He's definitely one guy to look out for sure. In fifth, the genetic phenom Quinton Area, the Canadian, also known as Quint Beastwood. Some had him placing higher, but this is an improvement from its 8th place at last year's New York Pro, the 2020 Pro. And one thing to bear in mind with Ria is that up until recently he competed naturally and turned pro without using gear. So this is reminiscent of Ronnie Coleman. Ria could possibly mirror the King's ascendancy to the top of the bodybuilding hill. So definitely watch this space. Great things to come. Other points of interest to note here, I think, at this show are the fact that the let's face it, the once heir to the Olympia throne, Roly Winkler, could only manage a 9th place. And this places a huge question mark over the 45-year-old Caribbean bodybuilder. I mean, should he carry on competing with each show, providing these diminishing returns, or take time off to recalibrate his diet and workout regime? Or is this in fact the beginning of an inevitable and irreversible age-related decline, one whose only conclusion is retirement from the sport? I mean, I for one hope that he gives it at least one more year to try and turn things around and remind us why he's considered one of the best ever, and go out on top. The other surprise, for me at least, was that last place finish of the other highly rated mass monster, the Frenchman, the 6'3", 320-pound Frenchman, Morgan Asti. Now, aficionados of the sport often point out that an appropriate mix of condition and mass is a surefire winning combination. And yet, here we have Morgan Asti with an abundance of both, proving that hypothesis to be incorrect. So, what is the perplexing reason for this fan favourite's consistently low placings? Well, one can only point to his lack of shape and symmetry as the likely culprits here. And unfortunately for Asti, they're difficult, if not impossible, fixes to make. They're genetically predetermined, that's the reason why. So the question arises, should he continue to compete? And I think he should. I think it's just super entertaining to see someone of that size, immense presence on stage. And more importantly for him, it makes sense to keep his name out there for social media and sponsorship reasons. So hopefully we'll see more of Asti and some improved placings in the near future. So summing up, overall there was only a 3-point difference between each of the top 5 finishers in the Romania Muscle Fest. So it was a close show, but the win I think was well deserved. And I'm looking forward to seeing Rafael on the Olympia stage in Las Vegas next year. And lastly, Vic Richards confirms that he is in fact still alive with a Facebook post. In it, the deeply religious Richards alleges certain forces are working against him, and this was the reason for reports of his death. He also thanks his fans around the world for the support they've shown him through this misreported incident. Needless to say, it comes as a huge relief that Richards is alive and apparently also in good health. So ending today's video with some great positive news there. Anyway, that wraps it up for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and consider subscribing. Thank you so much and take care.